What is going on, everybody? Just going to do a little game preview here. I'm going to get right into it. Tonight, OKC takes on the Pacers in Oklahoma City. So let's just get right into it. Talk about the three keys to the game tonight for OKC to come out on top. Number one, OKC has to slow down that offense. The Pacers have been, playing picking it up just in time for the playoffs on offense. And OKC has top defense in the league. So in order to win tonight, they're going to have to slow down Halliburton, who's been outstanding. They're going to have to keep Turner off the three-point line and off the glass. They're going to have to keep Siakam from eating inside the paint and the mid-range because Siakam's just such an outstanding player. Guys like Dort, J-Dub, Hartenstein, they got their hands full tonight. But like we see mostly every night, we'll play team defense. We'll surround guys. Our guards will get nasty. And hopefully, if we're able to keep them under 110, we should come out with the W. Second key to the game, battle of the boards tonight. No Chet tonight, so it's really Hartenstein, like I said. Dub, Dort, Shai, everyone's going to have to get on the glass. We've played most of the season without Chet anyway, so we're going to have our guards get scrappy and have our forwards get scrappy and just really get gritty, which they've done all season. We've had games like this, especially a game like when we played Cleveland at home. We didn't have either of our centers, and we all know how that ended up. So, keep the board battle clean. You don't want to get blown out. They don't have to win it tonight per se, but don't lose it by too much. And our final key to the game tonight, play at our pace. OKC is its best when they're getting out in transition, when they're slowing it down, getting Shai to his spots, coming out of timeout, running sets. We can't let this Pacers offense run the whole show tonight. Once they get going, they like to move quick, get down the floor, get the ball up, basket, do it again. That's kind of how they play. 3-point shots, fast-paced offense. So if we slow down on our side of offense, able to get back on the ball after a bucket, and make them run sets, make them run plays, make them go to their third option, fourth looks, OKC should come out on top. Play at their pace, win the battle of the boards, or keep it, 60-40 is a decent number, and then slow down that Pacers offense. Moving on over to our player spotlight. Tonight, I decided Tyrese Halliburton. Possibly having a down year to his standards. But in his last few games, I'll read some of these stats. 29.6 assists, 16 and 18 assists, 24, 4 and 11, 16, 8 and 12. The guy's been on a run. Mind you, some of those games were Washington and Brooklyn, but the other two were the Lakers and Minnesota. So the dude's been playing out of his mind. And we know he's capable of that. When he gets hot from three, everything opens up from him. Or for him, he runs their offense. He's an assist maestro. So even though it's been a down year, this guy's still, a very solid point guard and really could, he's the engine of that team. So decided to do the spotlight on Halliburton because the one thing OKC, well, not the one thing, but one of the many great things OKC has done this season is really hone in on players' number one options, especially guards, because the amount of defensive guards that OKC has, and Dub, Dort, Kaysen, Caruso, who is going to possibly be out tonight, and Shai, of course, they swarm guards. They make their lives hell every single night. So if we could keep Halliburton, under 18 and don't let him have 15 assists as well, OKC should win. If Halliburton starts going crazy from deep and he starts to push the pace, you gotta wonder. It might be a tough one, if the Pacers offense keeps rolling. Their offense has been on fire. Like I said, they just scored 162. I know it was against the Wizards, but 162 points is unbelievable. So it's a great test for the number one defense in the league in OKC. Moving on to our underrated, overrated, favorite, and X Factor players from the Pacers. Hear me out here. Overrated, I have nobody on the Pacers. I think the Pacers are a very solid team. I don't think they are the best team in the world, but their starting five is outstanding. I love Halliburton. I love Nembhard. I love Siakam and Turner, what they've been doing. So I'm not going to touch on any overrated players for the Pacers. Underrated, I think they have plenty of underrated guys. I think Nembhard is underrated. I think Miles Turner is underrated. I think he's fantastic. I think Siakam is underrated. Halliburton maybe properly rated, but it's a very underrated roster. I know they're only 43-30. They got off to a brutal start, and that kind of starts with Halliburton. But underrated, overrated, we could throw that aside because there are no overrated players on this team. My favorite on Indiana, this is a tough one. I really enjoy the way Tyrese Halliburton plays. I don't love the way his three-point shot looks, but when it's going in, it's a beautiful thing for them. He controls that whole offense. And guys, last year they were one of the most prolific offenses I've ever seen. So you got to give respect to the guy. They went to the conference finals last year. I know they had run-in with Boston, but what are you going to do there? But this is a very solid team, especially when their offense is going and they're playing at the pace they want. So I do like Halliburton a lot. I'm not going to lie. And X Factor. I think tonight specifically, their X Factor is going to be Siakam and or Miles Turner. That being said, Chet will be out tonight, so you're going to need some help on Siakam. Siakam's a long dude. He's a tall guy. He gets to the rim. He shoots over smaller guards. He shoots over smaller defenders in the mid-range. He cleans up the glass. So, I'm in between the two, but I'm going to lead towards Siakam. But also with Turner, can spread the floor. If he gets his three-point shot going, it's a tough game. He's a tall guy. He's a shot blocker. So I'm going to lean towards Siakam. But both of those guys tonight, X factors, Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner. We got the injury report. Yeah, so like I said, Chet's going to be out tonight, probably due to rest. They're going to say injury management, but it's rest. AJ Mitchell, we know, is out. He's been out. Getting closer to a return, I hope, though. Alex Caruso, game time decision. He had that back soreness the other night, so we'll see. And then Jay Will, also game time decision. He got a little banged up as well the other night, but he should be okay. And Aaron Wiggins. Aaron Wiggins is out tonight with that Achilles soreness. He's been out the last few games. It would be great if we could get him back. He's been such a key guy for this Oklahoma City Thunder team. It's not stressed enough, but yeah, out tonight. For Indiana, Mathurin. Mathurin will be out, but other than that, they have a fully loaded roster, fully healthy roster, ready to roll into OKC. They've been playing great. So this was a game that OKC can't take lightly. They've had games they could in the past few weeks. They had Philly, they had Charlotte, they had Sacramento, teams that we could just beat up on and not try, honestly. I know that's a bad way of saying it, but it's kind of what it is. So got to get back on their horse tonight, lock in, and be ready to roll against an explosive Indiana offense. Other than that, guys, really appreciate you guys watching. If you have been liking what you've been seeing from us, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, like and follow on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook now, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, obviously YouTube. I probably going to miss a few, but we're everywhere. And give us feedback. We'd love to hear from you guys. If we could do things better, if we're doing something wrong, if we're doing great, obviously that would be nice to hear. But yeah, key for tonight, after every game, we go live on Instagram and YouTube. On Instagram, if you DM us, we will have you on. We want to hear from you guys on the live. You guys don't want to hear us talking every day. So we'd love to hear what you guys had to think about the game and your expectations for the rest of the season. I know we'll only have 8 games after tonight, but we can talk about playoffs. Whatever you guys want to talk about, come on. It's your show, not ours. We'd love to have you on. Again, just shoot us a DM at Bring the Thunder Podcast on Instagram, and we'll get back to you right away with the link that we use that'll bring you right to our studio for the live. And then be ready for tomorrow morning. We will post our post-game reaction, post-game discussion. Hopefully, just cruising right through another 20-point OKC win. But yeah, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, we will be posting the full game discussion. So anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate you all for watching. And Thunder up, baby. Let's get this dub. Let's go.